In bird of prey centres across the UK, owls, falcons, eagles and many other birds live in cramped cages and are tethered, tied down to a post, all in the name of entertainment. In the wild, these species can fly hundreds of metres high and travel hundreds of kilometres. In captivity, they are reduced to this. Liberty, a bald eagle who was tethered day and night at this centre, was outside without any shelter despite the extreme summer heat. She desperately tried to get out of her restraints. Florence, this golden eagle, was repeatedly trying to jump from her perch. Tied by her legs, she had nowhere to hide. Visitors stopped and stared while Florence became more and more stressed. Birds chew at the straps on their legs trying to free themselves. The lucky ones who get used in a display will only fly free for minutes. Others are made to perform tricks to entertain crowds that often involve making the bird interact with the public. These displays give the impression of freedom, but the reality is very different. Of course, they do not willingly take part in the shows. The wild birds undergo a training process to make them comply. Shockingly, one common practice is to withhold food until the bird eventually gives in and flies to the falconer's glove. This can go on for several days, and the bird can lose 20% of their body weight. Birds can be starved until, as this falconer says, appetite outweighs fear.
The first thing we have to do is get that bird to sit on that glove and eat. Depending on the size of the bird, 2 or 3 days without eating, if it's had a really good meal, that's how long you could be sitting there with that bird on there. Because what you need to do is get to a point where its appetite is outweighing its fear and it starts to eat. So as soon as we do that, we then start the training processes.
Some birds are imprinted, taken away from their mothers and hand-reared by a human so that they will interact with the public. This young tawny owl would only be a few weeks old when put in the arena. Lost and bewildered, she doesn't yet know what lies ahead. Imprinted birds have been conditioned to see humans as their own species and can never socialise with other birds. Another bird is so alien to them that a meeting could result in fighting and serious harm. These birds can never be released to the wild. Birds are denied their freedom, and this comes at a price. Many were seen displaying signs of stress and fear during our visits. Various signs of stress, abnormal behaviour or fear were seen during our investigation. People are encouraged to hold and stroke birds, despite industry guidelines recommending against stroking owls and keeping them tethered. Both take place at falconry centres across the UK. This Eurasian eagle owl was crowded by over 20 children. Surrounded by reaching hands, there was no escape. Captive birds who are tied down try to escape their restraints. These birds often end up upside down and can get injured. This is seen as normal behaviour in the industry. Tied down, starved and manipulated purely for entertainment. This is no life for a wild bird. Please, take action today against this cruel industry and join the fight to give birds their freedom. Thank you.